afternoon. So this is a little follow-on video just to show you the Ailsa Craig that I sowed roughly about 7 days ago, and as you can see, they're pretty good. They've been under the lights and a little bit of heat, probably about 15 to 20 degrees, so they've come along nicely. I didn't sow quite a lot of these, so as you can see, it was just purely because I'm going to try and grow some large ones, but I'm going to pot those on in a bit, just prick them out. As you can see, these obviously these are much further on. These are Roscoff onions that I've tried for the first time. They're a French onion and are quite mild and quite sought after apparently. So they are definitely needing to be transplanted. So that's what I'm going to do today. If anybody's not transplanted onions before, it's really simple. I find it really easy because these just basically fall apart as you just lift them out of there. I'll show you in a second, but yeah, it's very easy. So this is what I'm going to use today. I bought these last year. These are really, really strong, and as you can see, they've got quite large holes in the bottom. They're just so easy to get your plants out of them with minimal disturbance, so I quite like them. They're not cheap. I think I got them, there might be a Charles, I don't know whether they're Charles Dowden or maybe Simplify Gardening, not quite sure where I actually got them from. I'll put a link in when I find it. But yeah, these are really good, really robust. So all we need to do is just fill them up with some compost. So this is just some sieved compost, nice and easy, just pop it in. Just smooth it in. I always use these trays. It's just so easy. They just keep all of the compost in, and obviously if it's spilling out over the edges, as you can see, so you just end up tipping it back into your bucket. So it's really easy to use. You don't need one, but it just makes life a lot easier. So then all I do is just use your fingers. Just tamper it down a little bit. Doesn't have to be too much, just to obviously. And I'll just. And then just put a little bit more over the top so it's level. When you water, it'll obviously make it. The compost will drop a little bit, so you don't need it to be too precise. If you've got a bit of OCD like me, you'll make sure they're all level. But yeah, it's that's it. Right. This is just a dibber. Make a nice little hole in each one. I'll obviously not do the whole lot. I'll just show you, and then all I do with these is just gently, and as you can see, they just all fall apart, and they're left with a nice, if you can see that, a nice little onion with a really good root on there. And all you need to do is just pop it in there. You can pop it in a little bit deeper and then just use your fingers, and that's basically it. And you just carry on. It's very therapeutic. Pick your best ones, and then you can, obviously, if you could pick the best ones, you're going to get the best onions. Doesn't matter if they're flopping over a little bit; they'll just right themselves. It's really easy. Just be really delicate with how you pick them up, and I just use 2 fingers and just press them down, and then you just obviously repeat. And that's as easy as that. I'll carry on doing these. Take me, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and then I'll show you how I water. And that's it, all done. As you can see, we've got a full tray. There is a few left. I do hate throwing anything away that I've sown, but I haven't got enough room, so that's all I need for now. If you have got a few that's maybe it's dropped a little bit, just throw a little bit more on, just to level it up a bit. And then what I'll do now is I'll just give them a quick water. What I do with anything that I transplant, I don't water from the top, because it tends to possibly be too wet on the top, especially in this polytunnel at the moment, because as you can see the temperature, let's see what the temperature is, 8.3 degrees. It's never going to really get warm enough to dry out the top, so but they've got a potential to be too wet, and then they'll just rot. So what I'll do is I'm just going to water them from the bottom, and I'll do that in a second. I'll just get the tray of water, and then we'll do that. So basically all I do is just fill this tray. Obviously it's got no holes in, so just get some water, doesn't have to be too deep, and then just pop your tray of seedlings into there. I'll probably leave them for maybe a minute, if that. We don't want the tops to be wet, otherwise obviously what I've said earlier, they'll just dampen off and they'll rot. So I'll just leave that for a little while, and in the meantime I'll just get rid of all of this. And that's basically it. That's how you prick out your onions for the season. I just repeat exactly the same. I'm going to do something slightly different with these Ailsa Craig and the Galacticus that I grew, that I sown the other day, because I want these to be big onions. So these are just going to go in the ground to do what they need to do. They'll be a decent size. But these I'm following one of the guys on like show growing, like the large vegetables. So this is just going to be a little experiment. I like to do things differently and maybe just keep the interest going. So I'm going to try and grow these into quite large ones. So that should be fun. Thank you for watching.